How are you? In the US economy running out of steam or simply catching its breath. After years of inflation, shocks, aggressive interest rates, hikes, and unexpected reliances, many Americans are now asking one question. Is the slowdown coming in 2026? From rising credit card debt to cooling job growth, and from high mortgage rates to cautions, business warning signs are flashing. Today on Hungry Creek, we break down what's really happening in the United States of America economy and what is means to you. Dive in. Part number one: the big economic picture. Over the last 2 years, the US economy surprised many experts. Despite aggressive interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve, growth remained stronger than expected. Consumer spending stayed solid. The job market held up. Markets recovered from earlier volatility, but now growth is clearly showing. Compared to its early pace, GDP growth has moderated. Business expansion. Expansion, business expansion, yes. Business expansion is less aggressive. Corporate earning guidance has become more cautious. Manufacturing activity in some region for softening. This does not mean the economy is collapsing, but momentum is slowing. And in economics, momentum matters. Part number two: inflation, the core issue. Let's talk about inflation, the root cause of recent economic turbulence. Inflation surged to multi-decade high after the pandemic due to supply chain disruption and government stimulus spending, labor shortage, global energy shocks. The good news: inflation has cooled significantly from its peak. The bad news, yes, the bad news: prices are still higher than most households feel comfortable with. Groceries, rent, insurance services remain expensive compared to pre-pandemic levels. Even if inflation slows, prices rarely go back down, they just rise and more slowly. So while the data might look on paper, many Americans still feel financial strained. Part number three: interest rates and the Federal Reserve. Fight inflation, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates aggressively, the fastest pace in decades. Higher rates make borrowing more expensive. That affect mortgage payment, auto loans, credit card, small business loans, corporate investment. Mortgage rates have hovered near multi-years high, calling the housing market. Home sales have slowed. Refinancing has dropped significantly for business. Higher borrowing cost means expensation plans get delayed, hiring slows, risk taking decreases. Yes, for business hiring decreases. The Federal Reserve goal is a soft landing, cooling cooling inflation without causing a deep recession. But here's the challenge: interest rate effective interest rate affect take time. The full impact of previous rate hikes may not have fully hit the economy yet, but and that uncertainty is fueling slowdown fears. Part number four: the job market. Part number four: the job market, still strong but slowing. The job market has been the strongest pillar of US economy. Employment remains relatively low by historical standards. Wage growth has improved. Many sectors continuing hiring, but there's are sign of moderation. Yes, jobs opening have declined from peak levels. Yes, hiring is slower in tech and finance. Low Layoffs have increased in certain industries. Small business are reporting hiring challenges. Yes. If job growth weakness significantly, consumer confidence could fall. And remember consumer spending drives roughly 70% of the US economy. If Americans start saving instead of spending, growth could slow quickly. Yes. Part number 5, consumer depth and spending trends. During the pandemic, stimulus check and reduce spending helped American. Uh, During the pandemic, stimulus check and reduce spending helped Americans build savings, but those access saving are now shrinking. Credit card balance have risen sharply. Delinquencies are ticking up. Auto loan defaults are increased in some segment. Consumers are still spending, but more of that spending is financed is debt. There is not sustainable long term. If debt pressure rises while interest rates remain high, household may pull back. That when economy slow down, typically accelerate. Point number 6, global and political factors. The US economy does not operate in isolation. Global tensions, supply chain shifts, and geopolitical instability can affect energy prices and trade flows. Election year uncertainty can also influence market and business decisions. And market decisions, companies may delay investment while watching for previous policy for while waiting for policy clarity. International demand for US export also plays a role. If global growth slows, it can ripple back into domestic manufacture and corporate profit. So the slowdown question is not just dem- so the slowdown question is not just de- domestic; it's global. Part number 7. So is a recession coming? Economists are divided. Some predict a mild slowdown, not a full recession, as inflation calls and rate cuts potentially being other one that delayed effect of high interest rates could trigger sharper weakness later. Right now, the data signals cooling, not collapsing, but risk remains. So the US economy heading for a slowdown? The answer, it's slowing but not falling apart. The next few steps will be critical interest rate decisions. The next few months will be critical interest rate decisions, jobs growth trend, and consumer behavior will determine what's happen next. We'll be watching it all. What do you think? Soft landing or recession? Comment below. Subscribe to Hungry Creek because when it's come to news, we stay hungry. Thank you so much for watching.